In this tutorial, I demonstrate how to clean up the corner points that are not needed for simulation. The pattern provided to me is exported from Stolz knit software Create Design. It still has the original points for framing the stitches correctly, but for simulating the garment, they prevent me from sewing the seam lines together efficiently. I will be using the following editing pattern tools: the Edit Pattern tool, Edit Curve Point, and the Curvature tool, found in the 2D window toolbar by click and hold on the Edit Pattern symbol. I'm switching between the tools using the shortcuts. I just need one corner point at the neckline shoulder seam position. Using the Edit Pattern tool, shortcut Z, I select the points that I want to get rid of and delete them. I drag the remaining point between my center front and highest shoulder point to about the middle as the basis for forming a nice and smooth curve. I finally switch to the Edit Curvature tool, shortcut C, to shape the segments. I aim to adjust my pattern outline to this raglan finishing line. As before, I'm switching between shortcut Z and C. Here, underneath the arm at the side seam, I want it to be curved, and I don't want a corner point at this segment interrupting my sewing line. With a right click on the point, I select Convert to Curve Point. To edit my curve points for final adjustments, I use the Edit Curve Point tool, shortcut V. The curve points are highlighted in red whilst using it. I'll delete this point at the side seam as well. I'm now editing the sleeve and delete these points. On the other side, the line is slightly curved, therefore I decide to convert the corner points, which by the way don't have to literally be at a corner to be called corner points in CLO3D. They are the equivalent of anchor points in vector graphic programs like Illustrator. I match the length to the texture map. Delete these points to have a continuous underarm seam segment. And to define the shape and add curve points that don't interrupt my sewing segment, I use V, Edit Curve Point again. Everything I explained previously is used on the top part of the sleeve. And on the back pattern. Because I changed the length of my front and back pattern piece, I place the two pieces next to one another and make sure that the side seams match up. That's all for simplifying the pattern. Next up is creating the color.